Om Tat Sat. This is Swami NIkhilananda, and welcome to Spirituality and Vedanta Philosophy. My humble prostrations to my worshipful Param Guru, Shri Swami Shivananji Maharaj of Divine Life Society, Rishikesh, India, and my worshipful Guruji, Shri Swami Jyotirmayananji Maharaj of Yoga Research Foundation, Miami, Florida, USA, and to all of you divine souls watching this video. In today's video, we are going to discuss, according to Vedanta, what are the 5 kleshas or afflictions that we suffer from. There are 5 afflictions that everybody who has consciousness, which we call Chetan, are afflicted with. Therefore, it's very important to know what they are so we can work on eradicating them. And I will explain each one and then we'll talk a little bit about it. The first one is called Avidya, or lack of real knowledge of the self. The second one is Asmita, which is the attachment with the ego. The third one is Raga. Raga is attachment to all the worldly things and to all that we possess. The fourth is Dwesha. Dwesha is hatred. And the fifth one is Abhinivesh Klesha, or the fear of death. These are the 5 afflictions that we suffer from, and everybody that has Chetan or consciousness goes through these in some way, shape or form. Even a little ant is afraid to be killed. It wants to save itself and its life, and most of us with consciousness suffer from that. So avidya really is lack of the real knowledge. The real knowledge is the knowledge of the self, where we know that the consciousness is perpetual and our body is temporary, but we forget that and we live in this world as if we are going to stay here forever. So removing that ignorance and finding the real knowledge is that project. The second one is Asmita, which is part of, and all these things are within our body itself, things and feelings within our body that we struggle from, and these go on lifelong for the most part. Avidya is Asmita is ego, and ego is your identity that you say, I am, I exist, I am there. And when the ego gets inflated, some ego is normal to keep our existence, but when we have too much pride and when the ego swells up, that's when we need to correct that. The third one is Raga. Raga means overly getting attached to our possessions, our family, the things that we like and so on. And the opposite of Raga is Dwesha, which means hatred, and we constantly then avoid people we don't like, or there is stress and tension, and we struggle from these dual pairs of opposites of attachment and hatred. And the fifth one, of course, is fear of death, which is Abhinivesh Klesha. And we always think we are here in this world, but we don't want to think of our mortality. We don't want to think of our death. And even the thought of it is very painful to us. And we therefore keep it hidden from our reality. But as we all know that this is just another biological change, and we should accept it like any other thing in our life. Therefore, it takes a certain amount of training and spiritual knowledge to be okay with death also. So these are the 5 afflictions that most people with Chetan or consciousness struggle with, and this comes as part of our birth, really. The project in spirituality then, however, is to realize that these afflictions are there, and then to work towards eradicating them. And that is a much longer practice and a real process. If you have a spiritual master or a guru, that helps you greatly on this journey. And then you start purifying yourself, and this is not a quick one-stop shop answer. You just really would have to work for it slowly, and then find the difference in your practical life and your changes that you experience. Only then we can progress on this journey by first identifying that we have these issues, and then B, trying to work on them consciously. And that conscious process is what we call sadhana or tapasya or penance or spiritual work. I hope you like this video about the 5 kleshas, and the first step is to recognize them, and then gradually working towards them through creating some dedicated time for your spiritual efforts. Om Tat Sat. This is Swami NIkhilananda. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.